Hi everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss the distinction between void and voidable contracts. Most of the students they get confused in this when the question comes in the exam and they lose marks for this for the lack of clarity between void and voidable contracts. Now the question is what is void contract and what is a voidable contract? A void contract is one which was valid at a point of time, but it has become void now because of change in circumstances. It ceases to be enforceable by law, it becomes void. A voidable contract is actually a valid contract, but its enforcement is at the option of the aggrieved party, the party whose free consent is missing. Then there is another distinction based on nature and validity. A void contract is valid and binding upon the party when it was made, but subsequent of its formation, it becomes unenforceable due to certain reasons. A voidable contract, on the other hand, is repudiatable at the option of the aggrieved party. It remains a valid contract unless it is set aside by the aggrieved party. Now, who is the aggrieved party? The aggrieved party in case of voidable contract is the one whose consent is not free. Maybe he is made to sign the contract at the gunpoint, that is coercion, undue influence, fraud, or misrepresentation. The contract is voidable or the contract can be rescinded by the aggrieved party, the party whose consent is not free. A valid contract may become void due to supervening impossibility. That is, afterwards it becomes impossible to perform. Supervening impossibilities, afterwards it becomes impossible to perform because of changes in circumstances, change of law, etc. That is, it is not permitted by law. Or maybe the in supervening impossibility also arises when the subject matter is destroyed, like you have agreed to sell certain quantity of sugar lying in your warehouse, but because of rainwater entering into the warehouse, the sugar is totally destroyed, your stock of sugar is totally destroyed, so it is impossibility of performance. In case of voidable contract, there is coercion, undue influence, error or mistake, fraud, misrepresentation. These are the factors which have made the contract voidable. That is, one of the parties' free consent is missing. And free consent is an important element of a contract. A void contract cannot be enforced by either party, but a voidable contract can be enforced or set aside by the aggrieved party. The aggrieved party, if it wants, it can go with the contract, or if it doesn't want, it can set aside the contract. A void contract under no circumstances results in a voidable contract. A voidable contract, when it is rejected by the aggrieved party or when it is set aside by the aggrieved party, it becomes a void contract. A void contract gives no right or no legal remedies to the third party. Under voidable contract, if third parties who are innocent, they have acquired some rights, they are not totally wiped out. Compensation In case of void contract, question of compensation or damages does not arise. But in voidable contract, the aggrieved party can claim the compensation. That is, the party who has made to sign the contract at gunpoint or with undue influence can claim the compensation. Effect of lapse of time. Lapse of reasonable time does not render a void contract enforceable. There is law of limitation. So after certain period of time, it doesn't become enforceable. But in case of voidable contract, there is law of limitation. That is, if the aggrieved party doesn't exercise its right of making the contract voidable, it loses its right, then the contract will be valid after that. Thanks all of you for watching. Any comment suggestions, please mention in the comments box.